Alright. Hello everybody and welcome to another video. My name is Jay Lincoln and today we'll talk about map rotations, macro play, and how to do slow push with the focus on top lane. So here's the scenario I had in my last seminar stream. I had a Sion in the top lane who was doing pretty fine against Yazoo. This elo was platinum, so I think that it's worth to talk about it because we can see that top lane players sometimes don't really know what to do in the macro play wise because macro play means that it's the whole map, not just the top lane. You need to use make use of the whole map, create pressure around the whole map, help your team out, even in the bot lane, mid lane, and make sure that you get important objectives like turrets, dragon, herald, baron, and inhibitors and the nexus at the end. Alright, so our sign did pretty good in the beginning of the game. He killed the Yazoo twice or three times. He got the first blood turret here, and he played it pretty good. He had wards, defensive wards to not get killed here in the lane. He had ward over there. The problem was that after the 10th minute, for approximately, he didn't really know what to do. He kept pressuring the top lane. He kept pushing it in. However, he couldn't capitalize out of his lead because he couldn't get any further objective other than this first blood turret. So what people often think that is like, all right, this is so good. It's the 10th minute. I already got the first blood turret here down in the top lane. I killed my lane opponent 2 or 3 times. This is gonna be such an easy win. However, the problem is that you need to carry the whole team. You need to carry the whole team. You need to make sure that you create pressure around the whole map. Get these objectives down. Get dragon. Get the herald to get in order to get other objectives easier. But this is something that many people don't really take into consideration. They don't really think about it. They just keep their head in their lane. But you need to think out of the box. Out of the lane. Staying in this lane while being ahead in the game is actually a really bad thing to do, I would say. Unless you play a really good split push champ. But as a Sion here in our example, it was definitely not worth to do it because he couldn't take down the turret and he pretty much isolated the lead he had in the lane, just to the lane. He didn't compete with the rest of his team. He didn't share the gold advantage. That's what I wanted to say. And you do it by creating pressure around the map. I think that it's really good to keep the pressure on. That means you have to push on, up to this point, I would say, where this turret is down, the tier 1 turret. And then you need to find ways to roam. Get pressure on the mid lane, maybe even dive him. If you call your jungler, and your jungler comes as well, with the mid lane it's gonna be a 3v1 or 3v2 if the enemy jungler is there. But you can maybe dive the enemy mid laner or just go for a regular gank. It's definitely really worth to try and find ways to help the rest of your team out while you're being ahead in the game. Another thing would be use your teleport in the bot lane, call them, tell them to ward over here. So you have a way to TP down there, making it a 2v3 once again. And if your jungler comes as well, it's gonna be a 4v2, making it a really sure kill here, and resulting in you guys maybe getting this objective down as well. So I think it's definitely worth to, and you should do that as a top laner. You should try and look for ways to help your team out, not just farm your top lane. Because as I said, you isolate the gold advantage you have to just the top lane, and if you're not a really good split pusher, you won't be able to kill this turret here. And by getting this mid lane turret or bot lane turret, you open up the map, creating pressure around here. That means that the enemy team loses this whole area where they were safe from the turret, resulting in you guys being free to push into their jungle, create pressure around the map in general, and maybe get easier picks, because if this turret is gone, the enemy is not that safe anymore in their jungle and in the mid lane area. So yeah, I would definitely recommend going for objectives, use teleport to make plays around the map, and maybe look for a ganking opportunity in the mid lane. It's gonna be a really good thing to do. However, the really important thing to do to keep in mind is you need to keep the map pushed in, at least until this point, I would say. Have defensive wards, or I mean offensive wards over there in their jungle in the the ganking route for you, the jungler might come from the wolves, or from just the mid lane, come and gank over there. So it's really important to have wards, to not get caught while pushing in the top lane. When you push in the wave, you can pretty freely roam, while creating pressure here, because the enemy top lane has to catch this wave, and farm it, and counter push to you to it, or maybe he freezes, then you even have more time for plays. But it's really important that you find ways to roam and create pressure around the map. If you are a good split pusher, or if you want to, for like, if you are stubborn and want to push this turret down, if you want to get it down, then I think it's really important to call your jungler, get this herald down, and then you can create more pressure with the herald together. But without it, it's really hard to get this turret down. You're deep into enemy territory when you push this lane, and I think it's really risky to push here alone. Therefore, definitely recommend roaming and going for bigger objectives. So what do we do when we're behind in the lane? This is a really good question as well. I would say in general, if the enemy top lane is winning the lane, you can, like, I would definitely recommend you guys try to defend this turret at first. Try to farm, try to stay safe. We want to stay close to the turret, but it's really important to have a ward over here as well, to have defensive wards this time. Remember last time we had offensive wards because they were in the enemy jungle. This time it's defensive wards, maybe one over here as well, so you have the jungle entrances warded in the top side, and then you can pretty much stay safe here, because if you are not putting down defensive wards, you are in a risk of getting dove by the enemy jungler. If you're already behind, it's more likely for you to die over there, because you might be low on HP, and the enemy jungler is gonna come and just pick you off as a snack, I would say. So yeah, let's play the safe. Defend the turret. What do you do if the enemy top laner gets this turret down? This is gonna be a really hard thing. I would say in general, if you can keep him occupied in the top lane, it would be good, because remember last time I said that if you are occupied in this top lane area, it's bad for you. But if you can make the opposite thing, if you can occupy the enemy top laner while you're behind, it's gonna be really good, because the enemy top laner will be isolated. The enemy gold leaf will be isolated in the top lane as well. So if you can keep him occupied here without dying, so again, once again, really important to have defensive wards over there, and not getting ganked. This is gonna make it really easy for you guys, because your mid laner can either roam together with the jungler, or you can just stay there. The rest of your team plays a 4v4 in the rest of the map, and if they're not, well, this 4 was pretty weird. And if your team is in general a bit ahead, it's gonna be really good, because yeah, the strongest enemy team member will be at the top lane. He will be isolated from the game. This is what you want to do. What do you do if he's roaming? So let's say there's a dragon coming up. Enemy team wants to take it down. If it's just a cloud dragon, for example, I would definitely recommend you guys go for that. Um, try to stall the game. Try to stall the game. Wow, this is really weird. I shouldn't have done it, but I'm just doing. Nonetheless, let's do it. I started, so I have to bring it to an end. I should have just Control Z, but it's fine. So yeah, if the enemy team is going for this dragon, what you want to do, like if the top lane is going there, what you want to do is ping your team to go back, make sure your team is safe. You don't want to contest that if you're not in the position to do it. If you lose a 5v5, you need to keep into consideration, is your team ahead? Can they fight? Like if your whole team is behind, it's just the best to do is to keep on the pressure in the top lane, and then maybe get this turret down. Because if you trade a dragon for a turret, it's gonna be so worth for you guys if you're behind. You get a lot of gold from this turret, you get a lot of pressure, and you get farm and experience, which is really good. This is basically the things you want to do. Definitely stay in the lane and try to keep the enemy top laner occupied. If you can, like if he's going back to the base and he doesn't have teleport up, you can try to push in the lane and then go for a roam, because you won't be able to kill him anyways in the 1-on-1. So it's definitely worth to try and roam in the lane. Try and make a play, but it's really important, as I said, before you roam, you need to push in the lane to this turret, and yeah, go from there. So let's talk about slow push. What is a slow push, and why is it important to do slow push sometimes, and when is it a bad thing. So we cannot take an example of these turrets being down, the bot lane turret as well, and the big objective coming up is Baron. So your team wants to do Baron. It's pretty late into the game. You have teleport up, and you go down to the bot lane. You farm these minions, and then you create a slow push. You create a slow push by killing the backline minions, the 3 ranged minions, resulting in your minions stacking up together, and then slowly pushing. And while they push, they stack up even more and more, and they keep the pressure on. So I will do this. The minions are the dots here, and they push to this turret over there. And eventually they will stack up in front of this turret as a big mass of minions. And at this point, when you go back, you get these three ranged minions. You kill them, and then you go group up with your team. You don't have to use teleport most of the time. It's really important that your team creates vision around here and there, creates jungle vision, clears vision. It's really important to have a control ward in the Baron pit when you want to contest the Baron, when you want to take the Baron down. You need to create pressure around it. Your team needs to group up there. You needs to create vision, and yeah. So you can't do a slow push in the side lanes only, I would say, because the mid lane is too much in the center of the map. That means the enemy team can just farm the wave and then group up to a Baron as well. So therefore, it just works in the like side lanes. And I would only do it if the objective you want to take is on the other side of the map. So if it's Baron you want to take, you need to do a slow push at the bot lane. If it's Dragon, you need to do the other way around. So you need to push the top side with the slow push. What does a slow push do? A slow push, as I said, creates a big wave here of minions. They're gonna attack the turret. The turret is gonna kill these minions. That means that the enemy team loses the experience. However, if the enemy team has teleport up, is definitely not worth. I would say it's pretty risky because you lose a lot of experience because your minions kill all these enemy minions. They kill them. Wait, there we go. They kill them here, over there, bam, bam, bam. They're dead. So you lose this gold and experience to your minions. That means you need to create pressure around the map. You need to have an objective ready to take down. If an enemy laner is going to the bot lane, and if he doesn't have teleport, it's your time to shine. You go to the top lane, take this Baron down, because it's gonna be a 5v4. Let me see. Yeah, let's go. If one guy goes bot lane, it's gonna be a 5v4 with your teleport up. You TP to the top lane, to the Baron. I mean, the enemy team is only 4 people, and then you can decide whether you want to fight them. If they contest the Baron, you fight them. It's gonna be a 5v4, so that means that it's a favorable fight for you guys. And if you see, it's really important. Therefore, it's really important to have the vision here, so you can see what their step is, what they're trying to do. If you see there's nobody in here in the jungle, nobody trying to contest, you can just go for the Baron, take it down with 5 people. However, if they try to come, you can just wait in the brush. You can just wait over here, and if they face check, if they want to ward, you just collapse on them and kill them, because it's gonna be a 5v4. If the enemy top lane is teleporting up, what you can do is bait the Baron. You go to the Baron, start it. He has to teleport. He goes from here, uses his teleport, goes to the Baron. You disengage. That means that you have teleport advantage if you just walked over there. And he's losing a bunch of CS over the bot lane. And maybe this turret falls as well. So I definitely think that it might be worth to go for this kind of play, when there's a big objective like Baron coming up. Alright, I will do a video showing you guys how to do a slow push and how it looks like on the map. I will show you an example of the Sion not using his teleport in the bot lane, or not using his strength in the rest of the map, resulting in him losing the game because he was the strongest member of the enemy team. And if you don't share this goal with your team, then you definitely lose a bunch of pressure, which is usually not what we want to do. Alright, with that being said, thank you so much guys for watching, and make sure to tune in on the next time I do the seminar. They're usually on Sunday, and just follow me on Twitch to get that notification. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye bye.